My wife made me a cup of coffee, which had a very strange smell. Made you a special coffee, honey, she said. I answered, how sweet, and quietly swapped the mugs with my sister-in-law, who always bullied me. 30 minutes later, the most shocking thing happened. The smell hit me first. Bitter. Metallic. Wrong. I've been drinking coffee for 20 years. Burnt beans, cheap blends, artisan nonsense. I know the language of bitterness. This wasn't that. This was something hiding beneath it. My wife smiled when she handed me the mug. Made you a special coffee, honey. Her voice was light. Too light. My sister-in-law, Mara, sat across from me at the kitchen island, scrolling through her phone. She didn't look up. She never did when she was in my house. She treated me like a tenant in my own life. I smiled back. How sweet. My fingers were steady as I reached for the sugar. I've trained myself to be steady. Years of swallowing insults will do that. I stood, walked around the island. Casual. Effortless. I set my mug down near Mara's elbow, as if I needed space. Picked up hers without breaking the rhythm of conversation. No one noticed. Or maybe she did. Mara smirked faintly before lifting the mug. 30 minutes later, she collapsed onto my kitchen floor, her body convulsing, foam gathering at the corner of her mouth. And my wife screamed my name. Not hers. Mine. The ambulance came fast. Too fast. As if someone had rehearsed the timing. Mara survived. Barely. Food poisoning, they said at first. A bad reaction. They kept her overnight. My wife cried in the hospital hallway, clinging to me. Something must have been wrong with the milk, she whispered. But we don't keep milk in the house. She knows that. I watched her cry, counted the seconds between her breaths, noticed how she avoided my eyes. This wasn't the first strange thing. 2 months ago, she started locking her phone. 3 weeks ago, she stopped drinking coffee altogether. Said it made her anxious. Last week, I overheard her on the phone in the garage. He'll drink it. He always does. I had convinced myself it wasn't about me. Denial is comfortable. It lets you sleep. But that smell in the coffee had pulled me awake. Mara always bullied me. Called me spineless. Useless. Said my wife settled. They had a language together. Side glances, subtle jokes at my expense. But something shifted recently. They'd whisper when I left the room. Stop talking when I returned. And now Mara almost died drinking from my mug. The mug meant for me. My wife sat beside Mara's hospital bed, holding her hand like a lover would. Not like a sister. That's when it crystallized. This wasn't about cruelty. It was about removal. I didn't confront her. Confrontation is for people who need emotional release. I needed clarity. I started small. Phone records first. I still had access to our shared account. A number appeared over and over again, late at night. 30 minutes. 42. Sometimes an hour. It wasn't saved. I ran it through a contact search. Mara. Of course. I watched them at home. The way my wife's hand would linger on Mara's shoulder. The way Mara would soften when my wife spoke. Not sisterly. Intimate. I checked the trash one evening after they went to bed. An empty bottle of something labeled in small print. Zolpidem. Prescription sleep aid. Ground finely. It dissolves easily. Odorless. Mostly. Unless mixed badly. I Googled interactions. High doses could cause respiratory depression. Coma. Death, if combined with alcohol. Mara drinks wine every night. I don't. That's when the pieces aligned so cleanly, it almost impressed me. They weren't trying to poison me. They were trying to poison Mara. And make it look like I had done it. She bullies me publicly. Calls me unstable. Unhinged when I defend myself. If she died after drinking coffee I made, the grieving husband, the jealous brother-in-law, the quiet man who finally snapped. It would fit. Too well. I installed a small camera in the kitchen the next morning, disguised inside a smoke detector. Then I waited. Patience is power. 3 days later, I watched from my phone at work as my wife stood alone in the kitchen. She crushed something with the back of a spoon, poured it into a mug, stirred, smiled at her reflection in the microwave door. I came home early that day. She looked surprised. Mara looked nervous. The coffee was already on the counter. Made you a special one, my wife said. Again. I swapped the mugs. Again. This time, I didn't look away. Mara hesitated before sipping. My wife's eyes were locked on me. Waiting. When Mara collapsed the second time, it was quieter. Less dramatic. Her body just folded in on itself like something hollow. My wife froze. Didn't scream. Just stared at the mug in Mara's hand. The one meant for me. In the hospital, while doctors worked on stabilizing her. I sat beside my wife in silence. Then I placed my phone on her lap, pressed play. The footage rolled. Her in the kitchen, crushing pills, stirring, smiling, her face drained of color. "You don't understand," she whispered. "I understand perfectly." Her mouth trembled. Tears came instantly. "It wasn't supposed to. She wanted it this way. She said you'd never leave me, that you'd keep us trapped. Us." There it was. Not sisters, partners, lovers, planning to eliminate the obstacle. Me. I leaned closer. "Did you think I wouldn't smell it?" She broke then, shoulders shaking. Not from guilt, from fear. I didn't raise my voice, didn't insult her. I simply sent the video to 3 places. Her parents, Mara's phone, and my lawyer. Then I stood. "You tried to frame me for murder," I said quietly. "Twice." "It was her idea," she choked. I nodded. "Of course it was." Security approached us. Hospital staff had noticed the tension. I handed my phone to the attending officer who'd come to take a statement about Mara's condition. "Watch this," I said. My wife reached for me then. Desperate. For the first time in years, she looked small. I stepped back. I had spent years shrinking so she could feel large. No more. Mara survived again. But survival isn't freedom. They were both arrested before the week ended. Conspiracy. Attempted murder. Intent to frame. Their love story collapsed under fluorescent lights and legal paperwork. And I never raised my voice. The house is quiet now. No whispers. No shared glances. No special coffee. I still make it every morning. Black. Uncomplicated. I used to think strength meant enduring humiliation, swallowing rage, being the better man. I was wrong. Strength is observation, patience, timing. They thought I was harmless because I was quiet. They mistook restraint for weakness. The divorce finalized last month. I kept the house, sold the wedding ring, changed the locks. Sometimes I replay the footage, not out of anger, out of clarity. The moment her smile faded when she realized the trap had snapped shut. That was the only honest expression she ever gave me. I don't hate her. Hate is attachment, and I am finally free of that. Now when I lift my coffee to my lips, I inhale deeply. No strange smell, no deception, just bitterness. The kind you choose.